get officially started with our Monday movers. It's Monday, November 23rd, and I'm going to turn it over to Deb Helzer, who's going to chat with us tonight. So it's all yours, Deb.
Thanks. So Monday Movers is about Beyond the Kit. These are the possibilities that you have with Pampered Chef. Okay. We're going to, each month get obviously a different commission rate depending on what we sell, but you can earn up to 31% on personal sales, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But you are the only person standing in your way, basically, from getting this commission rate. It is based on sales, but it is definitely attainable. And the more you sell, the more commission you will make. Okay, paydays. How do we get paid? All right. On the 7th of each month, we get paid for sales that have been submitted from the 16th to the end of the previous month. And the 21st of each month, which I just got my notice today, for sales submitted from the 1st to the 15th of the current month. So for example, if you have sales from May 16th to May 31st, you get paid on June 7th. And then sales from June 1st to June 15th, you get paid on the 21st.
So the thing there that I would would add, Deb, when you think about it, just in comparison to sort of a traditional job, very often, you'll work a 2-week period and then a week later you get paid for that pay period, right? And
Correct.
It's the same thing with Pampered Chef. So when you're submitting sales consistently through the month, you submit stuff the first 2 weeks, you get paid a week later, then the last 2 weeks-ish, then you get paid a week later than that. So that, you'll end up getting paid consistently every 2 weeks if you're submitting sales consistently over the course of the month. So
Correct.
just to kind of put it in a context that a lot of people can understand based on a traditional job cycle.
Good point. Good point. Now this one, I was a little bit confused when I saw this sign or this screen here. Set up 2 accounts, and that must be
well, the idea,
Dash.
yeah, the idea here is that in Dash is where there's a task that shows you how to do that if you've not already set up these 2 accounts that with
Right.
Pampered Chef.
But oh, I see what you're saying, that through Pampered Chef, you're setting up these 2 accounts. Okay, I get it. Because I have only 1 account that.
Well, yeah, it doesn't have to be 2 bank accounts.
Okay, that's where.
Because they're called your direct deposit account and
Right.
your payment account with Pampered Chef.
Right.
It can be the same bank account or
Yes.
not. That's up to you.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's why I was a little bit set up 2 accounts. What? Huh? I only have 1 account, but through Pampered Chef, this is how Pampered Chef is going to pay you through your direct deposit account that you set up with your bank account number. And then your order payment account is where Pampered Chef will take money out of to pay for your supplies that you've ordered, any gifts and prizes that you may have purchased for somebody, and your personal consultant orders, and also your conference registration will come out of that order payment account. So it is now, as Jill described, one account, one banking account that Pampered Chef wants you to put in for both of these transactions to happen for you.
Now it could be 2 accounts, which I'm sure is why they have it they're not just saying link your account and everything happens there, because some people might choose to get paid into 1 account and then the money that they do that,
True.
it could be 2 separate bank accounts, but the 2 accounts that are referenced here are on the Pampered Chef side in terms of
Correct.
One is money coming in, one's money going out.
Correct. Okay. So now, I don't know, is Julie within her first 30 days or?
I believe she is. Julie, when did you join Pampered Chef? I think it was
last week.
Okay, I was going to say, I think it was pretty recent. And Monica joined last month, so she is also still in her first 90 days.
I didn't know that. Congratulations. Oh, that's right. Now I recognize the face. Okay. All right. So this is for our new consultants, our fast track rewards. This is just the cream on top of that. uh, Whatever you want to call the cream on top of the milk there. That Pampered Chef just keeps loading everything on. And for new consultants, when you reach $500 in sales, you're going to get that lovely little ceramic egg cooker. And when you get qualified recruits, you're going to get $100 cash. So it's not just products that you're going to get in your fast track rewards. You can also earn a lot of cash when you ask and invite other people to join your team. Okay. So you're going to want to bring some friends in on all of this goodness. Okay. So now all consultants can get these rewards. And I currently have earned level 2 in the new products that have been available for us to earn this month.
I think Cheryl's also level 2 or 3. Are you over level 3?
Level
Okay.
3. Nice.
And Monica is over level 1, so she's earned some new products in the free
Nice
for all.
job.
Yeah.
And our excellence awards, I have not personally experienced this yet, but Cheryl definitely has. And Cheryl, she's the queen of the excellence awards there. I think, wasn't it in 3 areas last year? Two areas last year. So she does an excellent job in the excellence area. And then our incentive trip, which this year is to the Bahamas and
Fort Lauderdale.
Thank you,
Florida.
Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And that is earned with every sale that you make, as well as you get points for inviting people to do Pampered Chef as well and build your team. So there's many different ways to get points for that. But the new incentive trip is going to be announced on December 14th.
Yes. And so that earning program will start, it runs January, December. So we're kind of getting to the tail end of the current year, but you guys are perfectly positioned to, jump in at the beginning of the next one in January and earn a free vacation. And Deb, I saw you with your crossing fingers there because I know you're getting really close to earning this year. So, I know you are. That's going to be super exciting. Let's bounce back just for a second to the Excellence Awards. So definitely, congratulations to Cheryl on her excellence. And but just so you might not know what we're talking about, this is the annual awards program overall for the company. So this runs from June to May. So we're a few months into this year's, and you can get it in 4 categories: your personal sales, personal recruiting, developing leaders, and then your organization sales. And, so it kind of just resets every year, and then you kind of accumulate the different sales levels, and you earn Pampered Chef dollars, $500 in Pampered Chef dollars. So basically you don't have to pay for supplies at all or anything, because you're going to have enough PC dollars to cover everything for the year. Right. And then every year the award varies. Last year it was jewelry. We got a beautiful charm bracelet from Tiffany that had a charm for each category that we earned. So Cheryl and I each got a bracelet with 2 charms on it. This year it's a Visa gift card, so that you can take that Visa card, and if you want to go shopping at Tiffany's you can, or you can go to buy something else if you want. So, and the amount varies depending on how many categories you earn it in. So that, just to kind of put a little bit of context to that Excellence Awards information, and all the details on that and the incentive trips and everything, of course, are on Consultant Corner.
True. Thank you. All right. Now, I am having a hard time reading this because everybody's picture is in my way and I don't have a cursor to lower the picture. So I can't.
You want me to read it?
Please, because I can't. I can read part of it.
So the idea here, this is a wonderful, wonderful quote from Zig Ziglar, and it says, "You will get all you want in life if you help enough other people get what they want." And I think it's a real testimony
Alright.
to our business and the way that we work, that we succeed by helping others succeed and by helping them experience, the best cookies they ever made, or becoming better cooks or having more fun in the kitchen, as well as getting free products in a um
Sorry.
as a host or whatever else it is that they might want to do to kind of take advantage of Pampered Chef. But if we're focused in our businesses on helping other people, being solution oriented, help them get what they want, then the really beautiful thing is we end up getting a lot of what we want as well. And so then ideally it's a win for everybody. It's not me winning at somebody else's expense. It's I don't win unless you win. And that's a pretty sweet place to be when it comes to a business.
Okay. So by inviting people, you're going to get ahead by helping others succeed. And by helping others succeed, you're going to earn more money and more rewards as well. So there's quite a few things that you as a consultant, whether you're brand new or whether or not you're, been with the business several years or not, you can always bump up your business by especially helping others succeed. When you do that, when you're new, you get rewarded with a lot of money up front. Let's see here. So I am having a difficult time. I am so sorry.
That's all right, Deb. Don't worry about it.
If I had a cursor,
Yeah, it's really odd. We'll have
I
to,
have a cursor when it's not in the play mode.
yeah.
But it's very frustrating because I don't have that cursor. I'm trying to figure out what screen we're at.
That one's fine. If you play from there and just give it one click, then
Alright.
it'll take you to the next one that you wanted.
Let me just move this over so that I can fit that better. Okay. So we talked about helping others and
Mhm.
earning as you grow a team.
Mhm.
Okay. So you earn increased monthly overrides, higher percentage of personal and team sales, activity bonus for each active team member every month, and 250 PC dollars upon promotion to director, and 100 professional development annually as well. So this is when you build a team, you are going to earn this for becoming a director, correct, Jill?
Mhm. Yep.
Okay, all right. Like I said, this is
Mhm.
a lot of things are covered up with
Mhm.
other things, but so your director rewards are free new products every season, special recognition when you promote. You can see, is that Suzanne?
So Susanna, yep,
Susanna is
walking on the stage
walking
at
on the
conference in her
stage.
red dress.
Yes, that's very exciting.
Mhm.
And then additional training opportunities and support. So you have all these different webinars and things to learn from, and special director events at conference. And there's a picture down on the left side there with the Pinky girls from
The pink ladies from
Pink
Greece.
ladies from
Mhm.
Greece, and that was the theme that year. Or was
It was like a red carpet theme,
Right.
so people
Yeah,
dressed
right.
up like a lot of different celebrities and stuff.
Then you also earn incentive trips, free travel with reduced points. So as you go up in your level, your earning points go down.
Mhm.
Again, we talked about fast track and how you can get all different things in your first 30 to 90 days. And we talked about the some products, but more importantly, you can earn extra cash when you invite people to join your team. And so when you promote to director in your first 90 days, you're going to get an extra $500. And then when you're paid as director for the next 3 months, you're going to get $500. And when you promote to advanced director, within your first 6 months, you'll get $1,000. And when you're paid as advanced director for the next 3 months, another $1,000. So there is earning potential of $3,000 cash when you get started with Pampered Chef. So that's the only time that that's available as far as I know. And that's kind of exciting. That's quite the incentive
Mhm.
and carrot.
Mhm.
Okay, so the extra earnings start as a senior consultant. You can start receiving overrides and extra commission with your first recruit. And team leader, you have 2 direct recruits. That would be the next level, the team leader, with 2 direct recruits and 750 in personal sales. And then your team would submit 2,500 in team sales, and you'd get higher overrides, trip points, and higher personal discounts. So for the trip points, you get paid extra points when you keep that team leader level, as well as anything above team leader. Okay. And then as a director, as we said, you get increased income, you earn higher overrides, and you get, $10 bonus every month for all your active consultants. And you get those free products when they come out every year or every season. You receive $250 Pampered Chef dollars when you promote, and you get to, receive elite seller. When you're an elite seller, you get 2% on your personal sales commissions. So director has 5 recruits. They don't have to be direct to you. As you can see in the circle, Jen is a director by having 4 personal recruits, and then 1 recruit from one of her recruits, her direct recruits. So that makes up the 5. And as long as they all are active with 150 in sales each, and your team has 5,000 in sales all around, then you are going to be considered a director. Correct me if I'm wrong on any of that.
Nope, that's right.
Okay.
5 team members in any assortment.
Correct.
And the
you
sales
keep-
requirement, the 5,000 sales requirement, and
Mhm.
that's it.
And you keep, you can see that there's several different ways to get there. Okay. And then you can keep moving up as an executive, or I should say as an advanced director or a senior director, and then as an executive level director, which Jill is a senior director, correct?
Yes, yep.
Okay. Now, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Won't you be our neighbor? So here is our Team Freedom executive list of directors, and you can fill in wherever you are. Julie, who recruited you?
I am under Janine.
Under Janine, okay.
Mhm.
So you would be filling in one of the yellow, am I correct?
Julie,
Well, actually, I joined under a different.
I was gonna say, you didn't join
Under
directly with
Brianna.
Janine.
I joined under Brianna, and Janine, I guess, is the director that is.
Right, Janine is still your director, right? Because Brianna's not a director, but Brianna would be your recruiter, and then Janine is your director right now.
So she would fall into the yellow houses if she became a director? Or
Well,
green?
if Brianna promoted to director, then she would be yellow and Julie would be green.
Oh, okay.
And Monica is a direct recruit of mine, so Monica will be a first generation director.
But now
In
Julie,
one of the purple houses.
yeah, you don't have to be held back any way, shape, or form. You can become a director before Brianna does if you choose to. And that Isn't that correct,
Mhm.
Jill?
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
so it's not like you're waiting for Brianna to be a director herself for you to be a director. You can be a director before Brianna if you choose to. Okay.
Mhm.
Understood. Yep.
All right. So, um, okay. Director Bound is an opportunity to become a director. So you can join the group Director Bound, and what it's all about is building your calendar, working with your hosts, sharing the opportunity, and supporting new consultants. And how it works is you have 4 weekly Zoom chats and a one-on-one with your director. Now, I have done this program multiple times myself under Jill's direction, and I found it really helpful to keep me on task and constantly working my business. So for, even if you don't aspire to become a director, I highly recommend that you join the Director Bound group to get all its benefits of training. And before you know it, you might even just fall into directorship because you're doing such great work with your team and with your hosts. And it just kind of all comes together because you are working your business through all the different, um, you know, things that happen in Director Bound and all the different tasks and homework, so to speak, to do. But it really is a wonderful program to support anybody that wants to, build their business.
Monica's in Director Bound with us actually right now. Even
Are
though
you?
she just started last month, she joined the Director Bound program for November, and she's
It's
doing
great, isn't it,
great.
Monica? Isn't it
I
great?
love it. I'm enjoying it.
There's so much knowledge there, and it's just like, wow, it's really an amazing program to really help you help yourself to become better.
Mhm. Yep.
Okay. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Another great Zig Ziglar um, quote there. And, you don't get anywhere by just, sitting there and saying, oh, I'm just so great, unless you get started with things. So we're hoping that, you'll get started. If you're not already started with Director Bound, that you check with your director and see how to get started. And if you have any questions about anything, feel free to ask right now.
Mhm.
Any
So do you
questions?
guys have any questions about any of this stuff? Whether it's like the most basic, how does that commission structure work, up to, building a team and promoting, all of that stuff that, is really important for you to be aware of and make sure you know how it works.
And we
Is
went.
there?
Whoop,
Oh,
go ahead.
sorry.
Go ahead.
Is there a template of the commission and understanding that? Because it's so hard for me to like
Yeah.
wrap that around my mind
Yeah, I was just
Right.
gonna say
listening
that
to you.
all of
Mhm.
But if I look at it and maybe when I go back over this live, I'll go through it and I have something to look at. And
Right.
also, if I don't, I'm still planning on it. But if I don't become a director in November, I have high goals.
Uh-huh.
Can I? Do I stay in the Director Bound program?
You can,
for
yes, you can
December,
repeat.
or-
Yeah, you can repeat Director Bound again and, keep working toward that as you're building. Absolutely.
Absolutely, yes. All of this
Okay.
is in, including our commission chart is in Dash, as well as in Consultants Corner. If you go to, was it summaries? I'm trying to remember what it's called,
I'm
Jill.
trying to remember too. I'm looking in Explorer. I thought there was somewhere that had,
It's under
know for-
reports. It's under reports and tracking, and it's below the the consultant summary or,
An account performance,
yes,
oh, it's,
It's where?
at the bottom, there's two buttons at the
yeah,
bottom.
there's two bottoms at the bottom of,
Oh, in consultant connection. Gotcha.
Nope,
When you go in,
that's-
like when you go into your own,
yes.
okay,
When you
okay.
go into your own consultants connection, which is under reports and tracking, there's
Mhm.
consultants connection. And when you click on, or yeah, when you click on that, there's a box that comes up. And then underneath the box, it has like real fine print. If you click on the commission part, the chart will come up in there.
There's one that says commission level chart, and then that's basically the one that was the slide earlier that
Right.
says when you have this amount of sales, you make this commission. And there's another one that says career plan chart, and that explains all the different levels of
That we
you
went
know,
through tonight.
that we went through, and well, what the requirements are, like from consultant, senior consultant, team leader, director, and kind of what the benefits are and what you have to do to get there. So
Correct.
so we can let you know again. So like Deb had said, you go to Consultants Corner, reports and tracking. Do you remember, Monica, I think, did you ask me where your consultant number was?
Yes,
It's
and that
in-
I'll probably
yeah.
find it.
It's in that same spot where you found your consultant number.
Right.
Okay,
But
excellent.
just look, it's very small down at the bottom, and it's a link that says career plan chart and commission rate chart or something.
Right.
And they're little
Excellent.
links. But both of them are also in dash under like career plan stuff.
Exactly.
So and yeah, I mean, like I said, we want you to make sure that you know how this works, because you don't know what's available for you if you don't know kind of what the potential is, you know what I mean, and what's
Yeah.
out there. And it's our job, and it's what we want to do with you guys, especially those of you that are your new consultants, to help you to get everything you can from your business. Like if the company is willing to give away free products and cash bonuses, go for it. So even if you're thinking, I'm not sure what I want to do with my business, maybe, a few months from now, but this is when you can do this. So go for all of it right now. And then you can always say, oh, I think I'm going to slow down a little bit, or I'm going to whatever. The worst that can happen is you've got a bunch of new products, a bunch of cash in your pocket, everything's good, and you've got the opportunity to do those things. So that's why we just really want to make sure that
Could
we
you
are doing what we can
imagine-
to support you guys earning all of the bonuses that the company is willing to give.
Now, could you imagine finding out after your 30 days about everything?
Yeah, after that 90-day mark, and you're like, oh man,
Yeah.
I wish I had
Wish
known.
I would have known this.
I could have done
would
that.
gone for it.
Yeah, that's
So
what we
that's-
don't want to have happen.
Right, exactly. We want to make sure everybody understands what's
Mhm.
available to them,
Yeah.
and, to grab that brass ring.
Yeah, and have any of the resources and support that you can use to get there. So, all right, Julie, do you have any questions for us?
Actually, I do. So,
Okay.
I started not so much interested in growing a business right now, because I am a realtor and I have more than a full-time job with that. It's been an extremely busy year and a very good year, but very, very, very busy. And I'm growing that business right now.
Wonderful.
But I was looking for a vehicle for fundraising and for giving back to my community.
Wow. Yeah.
And so I sell homes. I think the kitchen is the heart of the home. I love my kitchen. I love to cook. I've
Mhm.
used Pampered Chef products for 25 years. And so it seemed like a natural direction. And when I learned about the fundraising option and the connection, the ties with Feeding America, I know our community has benefited greatly from Feeding America distributions here.
Mhm.
And what really was the hook for me was that any of the contributions that Pampered Chef would make would come back to my community,
Mhm.
tied to my zip code,
Yeah.
or any of my hosts in this area. That
Mhm.
really, that was the, like I said, that was the hook for me. So I'm excited about that opportunity. I have a goal of wanting to sponsor a Feeding America truck here. And
Wonderful. Wow.
I was talking with Janine, and we're interested in finding out, I know those dollars will come back here, but is there a way to tie those dollars that I fundraise through Pampered Chef into my goal of being able to sponsor a truck here? So we're working on that, working on trying to
Mhm.
find out who we need to talk to about that.
Mhm.
But the company that I'm with my real estate business is Keller Williams, and their culture is, they have an incredible giving culture. Their belief system is God, family, business, in that order.
Mhm.
And giving back is always, giving to my community is very important to me. So
Uh-huh.
Pampered Chef is that vehicle for me right now.
Wonderful.
If real estate tanks at some point, goes in another direction, and it's very cyclical
Yeah.
business. It's very possible that it would.
Yeah.
I built a 85 member Young Living essential oil business here in this community, and
Mhm.
so I believe I could do the same here too. So
Mhm. Wonderful.
that's why I'm here.
Yeah,
Great.
I would recommend that you reach out to your fellow realtors and see if they're, I don't know how it works, but I know a lot of realtors will give a gift when they sell a house. Is that true?
Mhm.
So you could do something like that. Reach out to your fellow realtors to, constantly have like a fundraiser that they could purchase, maybe monthly, have a monthly fundraiser where they could purchase the gifts that they need through that fundraiser to increase the funds
Right.
towards what designate those funds for. So if it's for a truck, then, I don't know the name of the account or anything like that, but that's what you would sponsor. That's what you would put in for your fundraiser. And then you could maybe gather all kinds of orders from your fellow realtors, um, you know, nationwide, and use those purchases towards your fundraisers.
That's an interesting idea, Deb. So you're talking about not doing it as necessarily, because if you do it as a Feeding America fundraiser through Pampered Chef, like you indicate that, then
Right.
the money they pay the money directly to Feeding America and they disperse it, like for meals.
Right.
So if you wanted it kind of earmarked for a particular project like this truck in your own local area, you could do it differently where it was still for Feeding America, but not through the Pampered Chef avenue, but have it go specifically to, like you said, kind of a fund or something, almost as if it was unrelated, unless as if it was
Right.
like an animal shelter or something. You know what I
Right.
mean? Where you just, because you can do fundraisers for anything, and not only the ones that Pampered Chef kind of sponsors with Feeding America and the American Cancer Society. So you could do it for, sort of for your local. For the purposes of raising money for that, and have that be the designated charity. Of course, you can also do, and we had another consultant on our team who really wanted to support some charities that were important to her, but her own personal budget didn't really allow for that. So she really, one of the things, main reason she got into Pampered Chef was to basically use her Pampered Chef income to be able to turn around and donate to the things that were important to her. Because that was sort of extra money
Right.
beyond her normal living expenses. And so that was kind of the way. So she didn't necessarily do them as fundraisers. She might just be doing regular parties with people, but it was money that when she got the income, she turned around and used it to support the things that she wanted to support. So, there are sort of different ways it can be a charitable contribution with different details, I guess I would say. So you've got
So if
some.
I understand you correctly, what you're saying is that if I have, Julie's Feeding America truck as a fundraiser that I want to do.
Mhm.
So you're saying that I can designate fundraising dollars from,
As long
or,
as
or no?
Right. So
it's a nonprofit, it can't go to any person. It has to be set up as a nonprofit group. So you can't, that we ran into this, I ran into this personally, where a group wanted to give money to a person that was going through cancer treatments, and to support them that way. But I told them that it has to be set up as an account that's a nonprofit account. It can't just go to a person. So what they did was they gave the money to their church, Okay, they listed the church as their fundraising avenue, and the church was given a check, which then the check was then given to that person via the church. Okay, so you have to have a nonprofit organization that it goes to. It can't just go, you can't put
Well,
Julie's truck unless you have that all set up as,
it does not have to be a nonprofit organization, actually. Sorry to contradict you,
No?
Deb, but
No,
no, because you
really?
can do it for a daycare. You know, a preschool could do a fundraiser for themselves.
Well,
It
see,
just
I
can't,
thought
it
that-
can't, doesn't have to be like an established
just be that-
nonprofit, 501c, something
Oh,
like that.
it doesn't? Oh,
No,
okay.
it doesn't. But what it can't be is just for somebody's personal use because they decide they want to buy a new car and they're going to use Pampered Chef fundraiser to raise some money to do that, you know?
Right.
But you can do it because in fact, we had a friend of mine did one for another friend of ours who got injured, a soldier that got injured in Afghanistan. And they had a bank fund set up because people wanted to donate money. And it was like, you know, whatever, the Jim Johnson Fund was what, so that's what we did it for. And Pampered Chef wrote a check to the Jim Johnson Fund.
Right.
To, you know what I mean? So this was not an established charity or anything. It was just literally a bank account they had opened for the purposes of people being able to donate money. You know what I mean?
You know, I thought
Um,
that it had to be a
but
nonprofit.
No,
Sorry.
it can be other, you know, other organizations that are doing it, but it just can't be an individual person just for sort of personal usage. So but in doing it, what Deb described though is a really great way to work with that is to have them, if there's another organization they're working with, like say the church, where the church receives the funds and then they are distributing it, you know, they choose where they want to distribute them to, and I choose to give them to this person to help with their medical expenses. So that it definitely works that way. If you're talking about a truck with Feeding America, if your local Feeding America place has, like, if they're raising money, say they want to get a food truck and they have their own fund going for that or something like that, then you could designate that. But then it would not be listed with Pampered Chef as a Feeding America fundraiser. Let me give you a parallel. So we've got the Help Whip Cancer fundraisers through the American Cancer Society, but many people will be doing something like, you know, Cheryl was involved with what do you call
For life.
Walk for Life, yeah. And so a lot of times people will be saying, well, I want the money to come to my local, you know, a branch of something, or my local team that's doing the Walk for Life. And so rather than marking it as a Help Whip Cancer fundraiser, which would send the money from Pampered Chef directly to the American Cancer Society, they just mark it as a fundraiser where you're not marking it either Feeding America or Help Whip Cancer. And then there's a spot where you put in the name of the organization, which is what you would do if it was an animal shelter or a church or a whatever, you know, anything like that. And so you could still put in there Feeding America. It might be like Feeding America of Clarksville or something like that, a specific one. And then they would get the money directly in that manner to use for their local purposes for something like the food truck that you're describing. Does that kind of make sense? I'm sorry, we're kind of like between Deb and me a little all over the place, but.
So my question is, when you were referring to funds, which funds are you talking about? Are you talking about profits from the sale of a party? Or are you talking about, because I was looking at, what I saw was that Pampered Chef, 30% of the sales total could be designated to Feeding America.
Yes.
And I put in my zip code, and those proceeds, say I have a $1,000, you know, party, $300 of that of that money is going to go to Feeding America for the local Feeding America efforts in my area.
Yes,
That is
but it will go into their like general fund.
Right.
Right. You can't, when you're doing it that way, you can't specify that you want it to go toward the truck. Okay. So now they obviously
have Feeding America in our area. They come up from western lower Michigan, and they bring a truck up here. There is no Feeding America of Manistee
Gotcha.
or anything like that.
Yeah.
So the Feeding America in western lower Michigan, people up here, people and organizations sponsor and pay for those trucks to come up here from that distribution center. I think it's in Kalamazoo. We'll call it Kalamazoo.
Okay.
And so what I was hopeful of is that because my zip code is here for my hometown,
Mhm.
that organization in Kalamazoo would designate those funds to come here. And that might be something that I'm starting to feel like there's no way for that designation to occur.
I
Because
Might have to
don't-
if I
talk
raise
to
money
the-
for Feeding America, it's just going to go into the general coffers for that Kalamazoo distribution center that in turn,
will still help your
Of course.
area.
benefit
Yeah.
our area.
Right.
Now, the other scenario that I'm hearing you say is that let's say our hospital sponsors, and they're a nonprofit, our hospital
Mhm.
sponsors the Feeding America trucks on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
If I want to contribute to that fund
Mm-hmm.
over there, then right now my launch party is set up as a Feeding America fundraiser.
Uh-huh.
And so at some point in time when I submit that or something, there's a place for me to put in there. I would choose like my hospital.
Not if it has been designated. If you set it up as a Feeding America fundraiser,
Gotcha.
then you do not also designate a separate organization because that
So
is
not
it.
also or.
And what's that?
So it would be an or. So I can't do
Right.
it at this point because I designated it up front.
Right.
already
When
set it
you set up the show, when you say create show, when virtual or cooking show, you pick that, and then the next option is that you if you want to, because if you've marked it as a fundraiser, you can choose either Feeding America or Help Whip Cancer fundraiser. Okay, if you
Gotcha.
choose Feeding America there, then there's not another organization a more specific aspect of Feeding America.
Okay.
It just is, and that's going to go. And in that case, you won't even get a check. The money will go directly from Pampered Chef to Feeding America. Because if you put in like your local animal shelter, then you would not be choosing Feeding America or the Cancer Society. And the spot where you put in the host information stuff, there's a box for organization, and you put an address for where the like contact person for the fundraiser, which can be you yourself. So for example, I have done this for years with my kids' school, and I was always the contact person, and I got the check. It was made out to the school, but it was mailed to me because that's the address that I put, and then I would take it into the school. So, if you were doing it for something where you wanted it to go with your hospital, then you would put the hospital in as the organization, but you would not mark it as a Feeding America fundraiser. It would just be like a generic fundraiser. And then when the check came in, you could take that into the hospital and you could say, this is where I'd like the money to go, or, something like that. But it would
Be
not
aware.
it wouldn't technically be a Feeding America fundraiser as far as Pampered Chef was concerned. It'd be a hospital fundraiser.
Right, and
You see
be
what I'm saying?
aware that if it is not designated as the Feeding America or the Help Whip Cancer, then the commission rate is or not commission rate, sorry, the fundraiser funds are lower. Okay, it's not the 30% then, it
Mhm.
is the 10 or the 15%, depending on the sales that it finishes at.
Right.
Sure,
That's a
because
good
we're not
point.
doing
Yeah.
The double donations on.
Right.
those-
But it's
those
right.
Other
'cause-
fundraisers, just on.
right.
the different
Exactly. Yeah.
ones.
Yeah. You got it.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, I think for the time being, I'll just leave it alone. It's going into Feeding America,
Uh-huh.
in Western Michigan that helps feed, the UP.
Right.
So
Yeah.
and future reference, you can always do another one that, is designated specifically towards the hospital, which then will filter it to,
Yep.
where you
Supporting
want
what you want to do too.
Right,
Yeah.
and because our hospital is one of our largest employers, and I'm good friends with the charitable giving campaign manager, I can tie something in there and probably do a really good event
Sure.
with
That
just the
sounds
hospital
great.
employees alone. So,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
All
so that's
right.
my whole goal is Pampered Chef being a tool to basically
Great.
help me do some fundraising and giving back in my community.
That's
So,
That's
beautiful.
perfect. That's the whole idea, is for Pampered Chef to be whatever you want it to be. To
Exactly.
have that freedom be however you want the freedom to play out for you.
yes.
All
Yeah.
righty. Any other questions? Monica, do you have any questions or anything to add?
Oh,
Oh, you're muted, hun.
you're muted.
Oh,
There you go.
No, I'm actually enjoying the conversation right now. I'm learning a lot. So this is all good stuff.
all right, awesome.
Nice.
So,
All right, and then so anybody
oh,
watching the
actually,
oh yeah,
I do
Okay.
have it.
okay.
I'm guessing that all the fast start, is that what
Fast
you call
track,
it?
Yeah.
fast track. Mhm,
Fast track.
uh-huh.
Those, it's just, do they repeat each month?
Well,
How
the
does that
fast
work?
track is just over the course of your first 90 days. So that's not a
Okay.
monthly thing. So like, I know, the level 1 is reaching $500 in sales in your first 30 days. And then levels 2, 3, and 4 are goals for your first 90 days. And then those for your product bonuses and your cash bonuses are your recruiting and promoting, all that kind of stuff. And it's just from whenever 90 days from whenever you started until the end of 90 days.
Okay.
But it's not a monthly thing. The thing that's monthly are like our monthly consultant specials, like the free for all. That's, our November sales go toward earning the products for the November free for all and earning the new spring products. Then there's a separate one for December, and those go by calendar month for things like that. As far as the sales that we submit within a particular calendar month apply to things like the monthly consultant specials. Does that make sense? But
The free for all is still, there's just so much to still learn.
so
It's okay.
free for all is just, again, that's the monthly consultant sales special. So it's bonuses we can earn pretty much every month. It's been for a long time. Every month there's some sales thing, and sometimes it's like when you sell $1,000, you get this, Pampered Chef
Yeah.
tote bag or whatever. And so that changes month to month. In November and
Okay.
December, it's called free for all. And what that means is a chance to earn free the new products that will be coming out in the spring. So we don't know what they are yet. They'll be introduced in probably February. But that's where the different levels are. So like in November, there are 4 levels, and you reach level 1, you earn these free products. You reach level 2, you earn these free products. And so that's what is happening with your sales. And that is a calendar month thing. So that'll end
Okay.
as of the end of November. Whatever your sales were for the month of November, that's what you earn. Then in December is like part 2 of free for all and has its own levels, and your December sales will apply to those. And then January will probably have another one. We don't know what it is yet, but so those kind of things are really everything pretty much goes by calendar month, except as a new consultant in your fast track, because people don't start on the first day of the month all the time. You start, if
Okay.
you start the 3rd week in October, then your 90 days starts getting counted based on when you started as compared to somebody that started the 1st week of October. You see what I'm saying? So they
Mhm.
don't want, they can't really have a calendar month basis for your new consultant rewards because people start on all different days of the month. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's only the
Yes.
fast track rewards that are on like a 30, 60, 90 day thing. Everything else goes by a calendar month being, each calendar month being independent of each other.
Right.
Okay.
Got you.
So, all right. So let's go ahead and wrap it up here and say good night. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Deb, for walking us through this.
I tried.
And you did
know,
great. See, it's a team
If
effort.
I had a cursor,
Yeah,
I'd be good.
maybe there's some other way that
I don't know.
can work better for you, but that's
I
okay.
actually enjoy it, Deborah. It was slow enough for me to understand it and grasp it. So I appreciate you going slow.
Good. Good.
See?
Thanks.
See,
I
it works
appreciate it.
out.
See?
It's all good. All right. Thank you
Right.
so much, you guys. Have a great
Night,
night.
everybody.
night.
And we'll
Thank
talk to
you.
you soon.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye.